Are your kids' rooms close to you and your partner's room?
Then this video is for you.
In the serene village of Udiuma, nestled among lush palm trees and red earth roads, lived Chike and Ada, a young couple raising two curious children, Ethan and Elena. Ethan, 7,
Was the thoughtful older brother, while 5-year-old Elena was the inquisitive, wide-eyed dreamer. Their home was small but cozy,
with the children's room right next to their parents.
At night, as the crickets chirped and the soft hum of village life settled into silence,
Ethan and Elena often found themselves awake, startled by strange noises coming from their parents' room. "Mummy screams again," Elena whispered one night, clutching her one-stuffed doll.
and she breathes so fast like she's scared.
Ethan frowned, trying to piece together what they heard.
There were muffled thuds, their mother's voice rising in sharp cries, and their father's deeper tones.
It confused and worried them. "Maybe Dad is beating her," Ethan said solemnly.
But why would he do that?
Elena asked, her big eyes brimming with confusion.
I don't know, Ethan replied. But we're going to ask them tomorrow. Breakfast and questions.
The next morning, the family gathered for breakfast. Ada served warm yam and eggs while Chike sipped his tea. Ethan and Elena exchanged glances, nudging each other to speak. Finally, Ethan took a deep breath and blurted out, "Mummy, why do you scream at night?" Ada froze, her spoon hovering over her plate. Chike nearly choked on his tea.
And why is Daddy beating you? Elena added softly, her small hands gripping her fork. The room fell into an awkward silence.
Ada's cheeks flushed as she avoided her children's innocent but piercing gazes. Chike shifted in his seat, rubbing the back of his neck. "Beating?" Chike asked, his voice a mix of shock and discomfort.
Why would you think that? We hear it every night, Ethan said boldly. It sounds like you're fighting.
"Mummy screams, and Daddy, you shout sometimes." Ada stood abruptly,
busying herself with clearing the table to hide her embarrassment.
But Chike reached out and touched her arm gently, stopping her. "We need to explain this," he said softly. Ada sighed, sitting back down.
She looked at the children, her expression tender but nervous.
"Ethan, Elena," she began, "what you hear at night, it's not what you think." "What is it then?" Elena asked, her innocent eyes wide.
Chike leaned forward, choosing his words carefully. When two grown-ups love each other, they spend time together in private.
Sometimes that involves things that are noisy, but it doesn't mean anyone is getting hurt. "But Mummy screams," Ethan pointed out.
"And she breathes so fast, like she's scared."
Ada flushed deeper.
It's complicated.
"But I promise you, Daddy is not hurting me. We'll try to be quieter so you don't worry, okay?" The children nodded hesitantly, though confusion lingered in their eyes.
Turning to Grandma.
A few days later, the children's confusion had not faded.
When their grandmother, Mama and Key, came to visit,
Ethan and Elena decided to ask her.
Mama and Key was a wise woman with a kind face and a soft, comforting voice. As she sat weaving a basket in the courtyard, the children approached her.
"Grandma," Elena began,
sitting at her feet.
"why does Mummy scream at night?"
Mama and Key paused, her hands freezing mid-weave.
"Scream? What do you mean, my child?"
"And she breathes really fast," Ethan added, standing beside her. "We think Dad is beating her, but they said it's not that." Mama and Key blinked, processing their words. She looked at their innocent faces and sighed,
realizing how much they had overheard. "Ethan, Elena," she began,
her voice gentle. "Your parents love each other very much.
Sometimes when grown-ups are together,
they do things that you're too young to understand.
Your mother's screams are not from pain, but from something else, something good."
Do you understand?
Ethan frowned.
But why does it sound like she's scared?
"She's not scared," Mama and Key said with a small smile.
It's just the way adults express themselves sometimes. But don't worry, your father would never hurt your mother." Elena tilted her head.
"So, it's not bad." "No, my dear," Mama and Key assured her. "It's not bad at all. And one day, when you're much older, you'll understand." The children nodded slowly,
still a little puzzled but comforted by their grandmother's reassurance.
Lessons for the parents. That evening, Mama and Key sat with Chike and Ada in the living room.
She relayed the children's questions, her voice calm but firm. "You two need to be more mindful," she said.
"Children are like sponges. They hear everything, even the things you think they don't." Chike sighed, running a hand over his face. "We didn't think they could hear us." "They do," Mama and Key said, "and their minds are too young to understand. If you're not careful, they'll grow up with wrong ideas." Ada nodded, her face thoughtful.
"You're right, Mama. We'll be more careful." And Mama and Key added,
her tone softening,
"Take this as a reminder that children are always watching and learning from you."
Show them love, respect, and kindness in everything you do. That's what they'll carry into their own lives from that day forward.
Chike and Ada made a conscious effort to be mindful of their children's presence. They also began teaching Ethan and Elena about love, respect, and boundaries in age-appropriate ways, ensuring their home remained a place of trust and understanding.